Happy Friday, Junior, everybody, and welcome to the 48 Blitz preview show. Can you believe it? We have already reached the halfway point of the high school football season, and so now from here on out, things are about to get really real. Joining me today, we're going to have somebody who knows the Valley pretty well, a special guest joining me here today. We're going to talk about all things recapping the first half of the high school football season and what's to come as we move forward. So sit back, strap in. It's going to be a wild ride right here on the 48 Blitz preview show.
This is the 48 Blitz preview show, sponsored by Landers McLarty Chevrolet, Annette Hills Indoor Comfort Systems, and Circle K Inner Circle Rewards.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Week 5 edition of the 48 Blitz preview show. I'm your host, Cam Durr, and as you can see, I'm joined with somebody here that may or may not look familiar to you guys out there in the Valley. Sports Director Carl Prather joins me here because it's a halfway point recap. We're going to talk all things that happened in the first half of the season and what's to come in the next half. Carl, it's been a crazy first half of the season. I cannot believe that we've already reached this point of the year. Teams around here are incredibly talented.
They're very talented. I love the energy, the excitement that one Cam Durr has for her 48 Blitz show. Huge supporter. Watch it religiously each and every week. Big shout out to my teammate doing a fantastic job. Yes, we do have some talented teams in our area. I think the biggest thing for me, Cam, is just how fast the season has kind of went. More importantly, we've hit the midpoint of the year. Obviously, tomorrow night we have a slate of games. It's week 5, 9 region games. But yeah, it's been exciting thus far. It's going to be really interesting to see all of our teams that are in contention have a shot or a chance to reach the postseason this season, make a really aggressive push toward the postseason with 5 more games headed into the end of the regular season.
Yeah, this is certainly that time of year where teams, you really see what teams are made of at this time of year and what they're going, how they're going to finish, and that's what's the most important thing about this time of year and this final stretch is how you finish, right? Well, I am going to ask you this because I started a question of the week last week, and so you guys go ahead and add down in the comments, send me pictures, however you feel you want to get this message to me. My question of the week this week, and you go ahead and answer this.
Okay.
Who has the best uniforms in the Valley? A lot to choose from, really great ones. You know, first half of the season, as we mentioned, it's this is kind of the year that you start really seeing maybe the page turn, but the first half of the year is just as important at how you start. We've kind of get into region play there a little bit. If you could go back through, regardless of class, your top 5 teams that showed out in the first half of the season.
That's a great question. We've had a ton, right? We've had some teams that really started off really, really fast. I'll start with Mars Hill Bible, and the reason why I mentioned Mars Hill, who's had a ton of success, Cam, throughout the years here. You gotta remember, a little over 10 years ago, this program starts for Mars Hill over in the shows. No wins the first year. They jump up and win a couple of games their second year. In comes Daryl Higgins, the head coach for Mars Hill currently, and all he did in a 5-year span is win 2 state championships, play for another one, and really establish Mars Hill Bible in Class 2A football as one of our better teams in the state within the Yellowhammer State. They have now made the transition to move up to 3A, and they come into this season to start the year as our first game of the week. They were on the road at Bill Washington Stadium, taking on Madison Academy, and absolutely dominated a team that just reached the state championship game in Class 3 a year ago. Had a lot of talent returning, but Mars Hill Bible really put the entire state, and more importantly North Alabama and all of Class 3A on notice that they're not going anywhere. They remain undefeated this season, got a lot of big games on the way. Came away with a big win against Lauderdale County across the rival, who beat them 2 straight years. Kind of got a little bit of revenge from that contest this year as well. But Mars Hill Bible will be one of my teams that for sure is one of the best teams in North Alabama. I will go with my second team is Muscle Shoals. And I know Muscle Shoals has had a lot of success, double-digit wins a handful of years under head coach Scott Basin, a proud fan base, a proud community. They have dominated their opponents over the last couple of years, and this year no different. You got to give credit to Coach Basin and his coaching staff. A lot of talented guys, Naturian Hampton at running back, Jacquees Green there as well. He's been a player of the week for us in years past. They are devastating on the ground running the football, Cam. Defensively, they don't give you anything cheap. They are dominant on that side of the football. The one thing that I always notice about his team and their program, how sure tacklers they are on defense. Nothing, you hear the old saying for people that play football, follow the game, nothing cheap, nothing deep. They really kind of almost constrict you to allowing you just a couple of yards per game to be able to move the football. They just don't give you anything that can be maybe stressing the field, down the field, passing the football, and then of course running it as well. So most of the shows, I would definitely say one of our better teams in the Valley as well. My third team off the top of my head, just to be honest, is Pisgah. And I know that for those that are new to our area or familiar to our area, Sand Mountain is a proud community. We have a lot of amazing high schools up there. And Pisgah, win, lose, or draw camp, they always come to the games. And to see head coach Luke Pruitt come into a program 4 years ago that didn't have a lot of success, battling their way through the gauntlet known as Fife, which we'll get to later. Hint, hint, if you don't think they're one of our best teams, you're crazy. But the fact that you have a statement win, in week 1 of the year on a Thursday night, you're hosting Fife. The Fife Red Devils beat you the last 2 seasons to end your season en route for them to reach back-to-back state championship games. Capacity crowd. Pisgah fans love the Fife fans. Fife fans love the Pisgah fans, but when they play each other, they are as bitter, as nasty as it can get in all the most positive, competitive ways possible. So to have that on a Thursday night and for Pisgah to kind of get that win in front of their home crowd, in front of the Sand Mountain community, to kind of project them as where they're at right now, an undefeated team. They preseason ranked number 1 in the state, and to kind of set the tone for the year. Was huge. So Pisgah and their talented team, definitely one of those teams as well. I will say the fourth team, to be brutally honest, in our area, I'm going to say Austin. I'm going to say the Austin Black Bears. Jeremy Perkins has done another fantastic job with that program, really kind of built that program from a team that really didn't have a lot of success since before he came there. And all he's done over a decade, Cam, is reach the playoffs every year but once. All he's done is win a couple of region titles at the 6A level, at the 7A level, and now here you are, undefeated, preparing for a monster game in region, in Class 7A Region 4, Friday night on the road against the Florence Falcons. That'll be a huge game. But fan base amazing, student body amazing, community amazing. I've left out the best, in my opinion, for last because they've been the standard, not only in North Alabama, but the entire state. They have put the entire state on notice outside of maybe Thompson High School at 7A football of how well and dominant they've been over the last decade plus. We mentioned them earlier with the Fife Red Devils discussing Pisgah. But Fife, all they've done in a 10-year span is win 5 state championships. They've won 5 of the last 6 state championships. They're back-to-back state champions in Class 2A. They've been on a 55-game winning streak nationally. It was the longest streak in all of the high school football at one time in this state prior to 2020. Paul Bennyfield went to that school. The field's named after him. He has some amazing players over the years. He's got a kid there named Logan Anderson, who's won Player of the Week for us, Cam, a gazillion times. He's a Clemson commit, going to play on the other side of the football at linebacker at the next level. 4'4" guy, 210 pounds, run like the wind, but he's playing running back. All he did was run for 2,500 yards last year en route to another state championship. Just an amazing program, an amazing community. The one thing that I always love about high school football in the state of Alabama is how passionate our communities are, especially for a winner. And it's really cool to see how the Fife Red Devils in that community, less than 1,000 people, come to every game, home or away, and support this program and care about this program.
Let's switch gears a little bit. We've had 6 players of the week now, including this week's Player of the Week, which we'll get to in just a moment. The first winner in our Week 0 Player of the Week, we had that kind of co-players of the week, though they were on the same team. Out of New Hope, Lucas Terry, the quarterback, and Dawson Cameron. They combined for 500 yards total offense just on their own. Of course, they lost in that Hail Mary to Ohatchee. What a heartbreaker there, but that's crazy.
It's
500
crazy.
yards of total offense.
Yeah, Michael Harper does a great job there with New Hope. He likes to spread it out. It's air raid city for the Indians, and they threw it around the yard a lot. And what a great way to kick off the high school football season. You know, you see a final, it's 71-70. I'm like, what? So big credit, even in a losing effort, the fact that those two young men combined for over 500 yards of offense at the quarterback and wide receiver position respectively.
A no-brainer.
Yeah, it was just a no-brainer. You just had to go with it for sure.
Absolutely. Well, our week 1 winner, we talked about it just a moment ago, Pisgah versus Fife. That was our game of the week. That was an incredible game all the way to the finish. I mean, Fife, though trailing most of the game, they really came back at the end, and even Pisgah had to put up a good fight to finish that game. But talk about the fight out of Luke Gilbert. He was our week 1 player of the week. I was at that game. I was watching on the sidelines, and it was only the first quarter. First quarter ends. I looked to one of the print writers in our area, and I say, hey, was he just perfect passing in the first quarter? He said he sure was.
Yeah, no, they moved Luke over the quarterback this year. You can tell 2 things in that game that you read. When you're perfect like that, that tells me that you've really put in the work. You've established the game plan of what you all are trying to do from an aggressive standpoint against a team like Fife, where you have to be aggressive to even have a chance to win this game. A lot of times, Fife, when they play teams, Cam, you know, they win the game just walking off the bus. And to give credit to Pisgah, kind of losing a couple of times to this team, and to have Luke start the game out that way, it's a testament to how hard that young man worked in the offseason, understanding his role, what is asked of him as he gets ready for his senior year, and to put in that work from when he lost an amazing quarterback a year ago in Mason Holcomb to now navigate and be the guy when you could make such an impact at wide receiver, which he did a year ago, the last couple of years, to move to that is absolutely amazing. And that was an amazing night for him. Big credit to him, and I think even Coach Paul Benefield and the Fife Red Devils and everyone in attendance for that game would do the same and just say, hey, man, he just balled out and had a heck of a game.
Yeah, the lights certainly, they were not too bright for Luke Gilbert. We move on to our week 2 player of the week. This was our co-players of the week from 2 different high schools. We had Will Carter, the quarterback from Huntsville. He came off the bench with 3 touchdowns. A young kid. Lights, again, not too bright for this kid. Jordan Miles from Grissom playing against him on the other side of the football. I mean, they could not have made it easy for each other. So how did we come to this player of the week?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was fortunate enough to shoot that game, so I came from our game of the week at the time and went over to that contest. And that's a rivalry game. Two in Huntsville City schools battling each other. Been a long-standing rivalry. Huntsville's kind of got the best of that rivalry over a long period of time, but Grissom came ready to play in that contest. Jordan Miles did everything possible on defense to kind of keep the offense at bay for Huntsville, and did just that for literally about 3.5 quarters. He's headed to East Carolina on a full-ride football scholarship, verbal commit there. He was all over the field. Then you look on the other side, Huntsville looking for some sort of spark answer at quarterback and for the offense. In comes Will Carter off the bench and rallies his team with 3 touchdowns and 1 on the ground as well to come away with a big win, 27-24 over his crosstown rival. So an amazing night for Will in a winning effort. Still an amazing night for Jordan to keep Grissom in the contest in a losing effort.
Yeah, certainly not an easy thing to ask of anybody to just come off the bench and into the game. We call it out of the bullpen is what I call it. That's what I was used to. But we head on to our week 3 player of the week. We had Johnny Jackson. That was last week, I believe. And quarterback from Bob Jones, he went out of his mind in that game. 5 total touchdowns, 1 being on the ground. Just an incredible win for that guy.
When you want to watch a young man have command of an offense at that position and understand where to go with the football, you don't have to know a lot about football, but know about the quarterback position to understand, man, that guy just looks decisive when he's throwing the football to said receiver. And that's what Johnny looked like in that contest. 5 touchdowns is a lot, Cam. You're doing that, you are cooking.
And he was certainly cooking.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to our week 4 player of the week. And this is a guy who is new to the game of football, but the lights, again, weren't too bright for him. This guy has ice in his veins. He's going to go very, very far. And that is why this week he is our 48 Blitz Player of the Week.
This is the 48 Blitz Player of the Week, sponsored by the End Zone, Spectacular Grub Sports and Brews.
So our 48 Blitz Player of the Week for this week, I was at that game last week. What an incredible game between Gunnersville and Arab. But this kid here, Brandon Maganaris, the kicker. How rare is it to find a kicker on our player of
He's
the
only
week?
our second, Cam, in the history of a player of the week, like to do just that. That was incredible. That was I could only imagine you being there, how fun of a game that was.
In order to have just the mental that it takes to game on the line and to stick it through the uprights like it was nothing. I mean, he buried it, no problem at all. As the time ran out, Brandon Maganaris, our player of the week.
Well, first off, it's a lot of pressure, especially with that kick, because everybody's coming up to me saying I got this, so a lot of pressure. But after I made it, it was amazing. Everybody's celebrating. It was really fun. It's amazing to be able to help the team like that. I mean, I just do the easy job, just kick it. So our offense getting down the field, good snap, good hold. All I got to do is kick it in, so it was great. It was a great win against A-Rab.
And so we keep on trudging along through the football season, and we are here on our Week 5 edition of our 48 Blitz Game of the Week, the biggest game across the Valley here in a non-region contest, of course, but who still wants to walk out without a win. And we have Pisgah, a team that we mentioned earlier, coming here to Huntsville to take on Randolph, a little bit bigger school. To me, sometimes that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Players that got game regardless of class. So a 2A school, undefeated Pisgah Eagles, coming in here to take on the 3-1 4A Randolph Raiders. 2A school, undefeated Pisgah Eagles, coming in here to take on the 3-1 4A Randolph Raiders.
I would expect, relative to both of these two teams and their respective classifications, to have a ton of fireworks. I think we're going to have a lot of points scored. I know that head coach Luke Pruitt and his team love to stress the field in every facet on offense. I know Randolph and Coach David Lloyd want to throw it all over the yard as well. Two really good quarterbacks, two of our better quarterbacks in the area, Cam. You have, as we just mentioned, the aforementioned Luke Gilbert at Pisgah, and then you have William Mitchell on the other side of the football. And then, they have some amazing wide receivers as well from Randolph. Randolph's going to go for it on fourth down. They do not care where it's at. They are aggressive. That football team kind of almost takes the identity of head coach David Lloyd. He wants to be aggressive and he wants to be able to score a lot of points. So even though this is a non-region matchup, you still want to compete. And why this game is important for both of these two respective teams, even though they're out of classifications, it's a non-region matchup. Here you have a Randolph team at in the 4A level, one loss on the year, which is a region loss to undefeated West Morgan. You want to try to continue to play really good competition and different styles that you may see when you get into the postseason. That's the key. A lot of people think, man, why are they playing these out of region games? It's because you want to see different styles and different teams and different identities that you may have the opportunity to have to face and see as you make the navigation toward potential state championship. So the same thing for Pisgah. We are a 2A program. Why not move up to the 4A level? Teams with a little bit more depth, few more bodies than we may have at the 2A level, but how to continue to identify and how to prepare ourselves for the postseason. Because listen, Pisgah could easily just stay at the 2A level, play all your 2A teams, you're number one in the state, you went out, you're undefeated, but what does that benefit you if you're not prepared to see different things as you try to make a run toward a state championship at the 2A level?
Especially as we mentioned earlier, kind of reaching this halfway point, the importance of continuing to play at a high level and continuing to move forward. So that was the perfect bridge actually into looking ahead at what we can expect to see out of these teams. I think they turn it up a few notches heading into this last final stretch as teams continue to kind of fall into the region standings, and it's just going to get absolutely wacky, I think, from here on out. It means just a little bit more each and every week that we continue to move on to the high school football season.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is just you will see the intensity pick up a little bit as we head into a week from tomorrow night. Because all of these teams that still have an opportunity to be able to fulfill their respective dreams of reaching the postseason and beyond, you understand that it's high stakes right now. These are the games that will get you to where you want to get to, and that's becoming one of the top 4 seeds in each respective region to qualify for the playoffs. Well, it's going to be an exciting second half of the high school football season. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to stick around because there's a super cool docuseries that Carl's been working on all season long following Athens. It's called Beyond the Lights,
Athens. It's been a great docuseries. Another episode drops again right after this, so be sure to tune in. Of course, don't forget to let me know in the comments, post your pictures, who is the best, the flyest uniforms in the Valley. Carl, thank you so much for joining me here on the preview show. Coverage begins at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. I'm going to have a full recap for you at 10, along with all of the games pretty much across the Valley. A whole lot of games across the Valley. Fingers crossed, weather permitting, that we get those in. So thank you so much for joining us on the 48 Blitz preview show. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching the 48 Blitz preview show, sponsored by Landers McLarty Chevrolet, Annette Hales Indoor Comfort Systems, and Circle K Inner Circle Rewards.
I would tell anybody that asks, really, I think it's one of the toughest places to play. It's an environment where I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. There's nothing like it, nothing like a Friday night in Alabama.
Beyond the Lights, Athens, presented by Roof Tech Solutions. Spirit. Tradition. Hope. The true essence of high school football within a high school football community. Nothing embodies the true spirit of a Friday night with the student section.
It's real loud, gets real loud.
Atmosphere, it's pretty hype. I mean, we get up, we get rowdy.
We have a really large student section. I know compared to some other schools, even like at away games, everyone comes out.
Away games. Home games. The Athens Golden Eagles student section takes pride in being the loudest student section in the Valley. Traditions within the student section have lived over the course of Athens high school history.
I remember even when I was like little, walking by and seeing all the fun stuff. Like the push-up board, I remember coming and watching.
So every time we score, we do push-ups. There's a lot of pressure. If I drop, I'm gonna get laughed at probably.
And then like running the flags, you know, everyone in the stands sees that.
My brother graduated a few years ago and he was a flag runner. That's something you honestly look forward to. You want to be out there in front of everybody. You want to be cheering on your team. You want to be a leader of it because it's something that at Athens is taken, you know, it's a pretty big deal.
Just make sure you keep your shoes and hat intact.
Last week, this one guy had to like fill in, and he was taking off with the flag, and he was wearing Birkenstocks, and he ran out of his shoes, and he dropped his hat on the field, and somebody had to grab it for him. One of my friends, Kenyon, he looks tired when he's running. We're like, is that thing heavy? He's like, whew.
They do a great job because a lot of them, they're funny, they get into it, and really it's just about having fun. The more fun you have, the more into it you get.
Having a good relationship with the people in the student section is good too, because a lot of people over there are friends, you know, like you got Tyrone Jones, he's one of the leaders of the student section. Everybody on the football team loves Tyrone, you know, he's one of our brothers for real.
It's great being best friends with the guys that are playing because it makes it that much more personal. I may not play football, but all the guys on the field are my brother too. You know, I grew up with them, and so I'd do anything to support them.
The student section embodies the true definition of spirit, Golden Eagle spirit.
We just have a very good culture here.
Everyone knows everyone, so it feels like a family almost. It's very tight, which I think that is very supportive and very helpful. I feel like you can call this place home, like really.
The community here is so wonderful. I'm probably going away to school next year, so it's gonna be really, really hard to leave this, yeah.
That spirit, that Athens Golden Eagles spirit, was on full display well before game time as the Golden Eagles football team welcomed in region foe Jasper. Fresh off an off week, the Golden Eagles begin the journey toward the end of the regular season.
Okay, Coach Creasy talked to you yesterday about why do you play football? And the bottom line in that, he said, and I'm with him, is everybody can't do it. It does not get too tough for us. Whatever happens tonight, it will not be too tough. That's why we practiced at 5:45 that morning. That's why we come in at 6 o'clock and we practice and we lift weights and we come back and we rock and we meet and we do all the things that we do. Is because whatever happens out there tonight, it ain't going to get tougher than what you've seen. It ain't going to get tougher than what you've done. And it ain't going to be tougher than you. It ain't going to be tougher than you. Now, one day, he talked about this too. One day you're going to go get a job. You're going to go get a job and you're going to work all week. And you ain't going to be able to wait for Friday to come around so you can get a paycheck. You're going to be waiting around after work going, man, I can't wait to get that check. Well, you getting it tonight. This is payday. All that crap we do, we don't do it to freaking do it. We do it to go get paid. Let's go get it done tonight. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Rolling to his right, looking downfield to throw, does throw, complete across the way. Good catch by the Golden Eagles. Two backs with Brogan. He rolls to his left, looking downfield, looking for an opening, throws complete.
First down, that's a first. That's a first.
Taking the snap, giving to Malone up the middle, found a hole. He's at 20, he's at the 10, he's at the 5. Touchdown, Golden Eagles! Takes the snap, pitches out to the near side to Malone. He's going to get into the corner of the end zone. Here's the snap, dropping back. He smothers. Interception. He's taking it all the way. Will they catch him? Will they catch him? No! Touchdown, Golden Eagles! Gives to his tailback up the middle. He got her, breaks one tackle. Yet he's going all the way. Xavier Edwards going all the way. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Does he look faster all of a sudden? Man.
73 yards, right up the middle for Xavier Edwards.
What do you say, hey, baby? Let's go. Yeah.
Giving to Edwards up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle. My goodness, what a good run.
He looks like a different back every week.
He does.
Gets better and better and better.
Brogan Gross takes the snap, looking to throw. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's got an opening inside the 25. Go Brogan, Brogan. All the way, touchdown, Golden Eagles. We're giving to the tailback. Ledger, and he goes down after about a 2-yard loss. Throwing downfield, it's going to be caught in the opening. Is he going to catch him? Breaks one tackle at the 12-yard line and goes in.
Sometimes you got to give the other team credit for making a good play.
Golden Eagles up 29-7. Brogan Gross in the shotgun again, takes the snap, rolling to his left this time, looking downfield, looking to throw. Nobody open. Now he's going to scramble back to the left side again. Throws. Does he get in bounds? Let's see. Give him the catch across the way at the 31. Here's the snap, looking, throwing in the end zone. It's gone. Touchdown!
Good job, man. How's that feel?
Great.
This ain't time to relax, okay? This is about who? Us. It's about us.
And he's going to take it all the way in. Is that same guy, Brody Garrett.
Let's go! Let's go! That wasn't very dang good.
Give to Edwards. He cuts to the left, cuts to the right. Now he's going up the right sideline. Was caught by his face man. That's going to add to it. Here's the give to Edwards on the left side. Did he get in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Golden Eagles.
Touchdown.
Wow. He's having a game, isn't he?
Here's the keeper this time by Morrow. He's got an opening.
Coach Gross ain't like it's something. I can't tell what it is.
We ain't playing hard. Let's go. Let's go.
3rd and 10 play. Looking to throw is Morrow. He's going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss. Good play that time. Looks like they're going to try the field goal. It's blocked. That's Malone. Malone breaks one tackle, spins away, gets away down the left sideline. Does he get a first down? Good. I think he does.
Hey, that's extra.
Here's the snap. Give to Malone. He's spinning. He's going to get in. Touchdown, Golden Eagles. 50-20 is going to be your final score tonight.
Great win, man. 2-0 in the region, right? 2-0 in the region. Give yourself a hand. All right. Now, that being said, who is absolutely thrilled to death, like we've reached the mountaintop. I'm glad no hands went up, because we got a long way to go now, right? Got a long way to go, but it's good to be 4-0 on our way to where we need to go, okay? But you got to understand that. You got to understand, I want you to enjoy this one. I won't talk about what's going forward. I want you to enjoy this one. Did what we need to do, started fast, all right? Really, really good job. Super proud of you.
We started off kind of slow on defense, but we eventually picked it up and did what we had to do to win.
I feel like on some points, we got too tired. We can't be tired when we play. You know, we messed up a little bit, let them score too much. I feel like we would let them score way too much.
I felt like we did good, but there's definitely room for improvement. Some stuff won't slide later as the season goes on.
It's more of a TPW thing, you know. Every day we come up here at 6 a.m., work hard.
We're tough. Just what we do is how we live.
It's very TPW. We got good, genuine love together.
Next on Beyond the Lights, Athens, homecoming. Distractions abound for the Golden Eagles football team during an event-filled game week. Can players focus on their play on the field as another region folk enters into Athens Stadium?